All right, everybody. This is great to commemorate the 118th Rotary International anniversary. And I must thank, obviously, the mayor for having us, as always, and I must thank BCAM and their diligent stewards of all the video camera equipment and them helping us out. And, of course, a huge, maybe we could do a little round of applause for Patrick Leonard for, once again, a fantastic program. So we'll kick off. I will lead off. So basically this is I've never done this before, but I guess a reenactment of the founding of Rotary. And we're going to go through some major people and major events and major themes that have lasted over this 118 years of Rotary International being a great organization to the world. So I will start off and say, my name is Gavin Williams. If we don't, the peanut gallery maybe over there? Cool, thanks. My name is Gavin Williams. I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Braintree. I'm speaking to you from the Horace T. Cahill Auditorium of the Braintree Town Hall in Braintree, Massachusetts. The Rotary Club is currently celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. It started in 1923. And it's been 2023 now, 100 years in service to our local citizens in the town. Rotary Club, number one, the Rotary Club of Chicago, Illinois, held its first meeting on February 23rd, 1905. We will have 12 speakers in our program today, and each person will introduce themselves and their topic. They will be speaking to you about Paul P. Harris, the founder of the Rotary Club, how Rotary Club came to be founded in Chicago in 1905, highlights of Rotary history, and the story of the Rotary Club of Braintree. So we go from the start of it, global Rotary, back to Rotary Club of Braintree. As president, I will open up the program with reading the words of Rotary's founder, Paul P. Harris, as he described how the idea for a Rotary Club first occurred to him and how the first Rotary Club was created. Now, let me tell you the story of the birth of Rotary in the words of Paul Harris. Today, Thursday, February 23rd, 2023, is the 118th anniversary of the first organizational meeting of what has become Rotary International. As your club president during our centennial year, I'll be speaking as the voice of the founder of the Rotary Club and of Rotary International, the man who has brought us all together today, and the man whose ideas have benefited millions of people all over the world for more than a century. Today I'm honored to speak in the role of Paul Harris, in his own words. One summer evening back in 1900, I took a walk with one of my friends, Bob Frank, who was a fellow lawyer. During the walk, we visited several different stores and shops of various kinds, and my friend introduced me to the proprietor of every one. It was such a pleasant evening, and we had so many pleasant conversations. I thought of how good it would be if we could form an organization where our business associates would also become our social friends. The idea of classification came to me, that each member of this new organization would represent a particular business or profession, and that we could all be mutually helpful to one another. Years went by. I thought more and more of such a club and what it could do. Finally, in 1905, I had a meeting with my friend and client Sylvester Scheel, a coal dealer, and we went to dinner at an Italian restaurant in Chicago. Then we walked over to the office of Gus Lair, a mining engineer. Gus had invited a friend, Hiram Shorey, a tailor from Litchfield, Maine. That meeting in Gus's office in room 711 of the Unity Building in Chicago took place 118 years ago this evening. I talked about my plans for a club. My friends liked the idea, and the Rotary Club was born that night. Several weeks later, Sylvester Scheel was elected the first president of Rotary when the meeting was held in his office. I suggested a variety of names for the new organization, and because our practice was to rotate our meetings among the offices of the members, Rotary was one of them. Rotary became our club's name. Now, let's hear the story of the growth of the organization to which we all belong, Rotary International.
Hello, I'm Paul Agnew from Braintree Rotary. And I'm going to speak to you about the Rotary Wheel. And then I'm going to invite you to sing. Chicago Rotarian and engraver Monty Bear suggested a wagon wheel with 13 spokes as the symbol of Rotary back in 1905, and his basic idea was approved by Paul Harris and other founding members. To give motion to the wheel, he added the dust clouds in 1906. An emblem committee requested that designs be submitted to the Rotary Club Convention in Duluth, Minnesota in 1912 to standardize the emblem, and the cogs and words Rotary International were added in that year. Then in 1919, a design created by Oscar Bjorge of the Rotary Club of Duluth with 6 spokes and 24 cogs was approved and published in the January 1920 issue of the Rotarian, our magazine. In 1924, 5 years later, Will R. Forker of the Rotary Club of Los Angeles, California, see how far Rotary had grown already, suggested the addition of a keyway, and a small but important change was made. This final design was approved at the 1929 Rotary Convention, and the 1924 version has remained unchanged to this day. 4-man established Rotary. The 5th Rotarian was a fellow named Harry Ruggles, a Chicago printer who introduced singing to Rotary. Let's join together now to sing the first song that Harry Ruggles sang at Rotary, "Let Me Call You Sweetheart." Now, you probably are familiar with that song, so I hope you'll join in singing this old tune that's still alive today. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love light glowing in your eyes so true. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. And we even had some harmony on that.
Good afternoon. I'm Melissa Missy Garlisi, past president, 2017-2018, and I'm here today to speak to you about the growth of Rotary. Paul Harris had asked Chicago Rotarian Manuel Munoz, who was being transferred to San Francisco, to spread the word about Rotary, and Rotary Club No. 2 was established in San Francisco by Homer Wood in 1908. The first Rotary Convention was held in Chicago in August of 1910, when Rotary had 16 clubs and the National Association of Rotary was formed with Paul Harris as the president. At the first National Convention in 1910, Chesley R. Perry became secretary and later the general secretary of Rotary International, serving from 1910 to 1942. When he wrote about the origin, growth, and development of the Rotary Club, Paul Harris said, "If I was the architect, Chesley R. Perry was the builder," and that although he was the founder of Rotary, he credited Ches Perry with being the man most responsible for making the Rotary Club become a worldwide organization.
Good afternoon. I'm Joanne Tully, past president of our Braintree Rotary Club, 2011 to 2012. 1910, the 5 avenues of service of Rotary are established, and Rotary Club becomes an international organization. The 5 avenues of service in Rotary were established in 1910 and are, to this day, club service, vocational service, community service, international service, and new generations. The goal of New Generations is to support young people in developing leadership and communication skills and to help to qualify and train them to be leaders of tomorrow. 1910 was a major year for Rotary. Since 1910, the Rotary mottos have included service above self and he profits most who serves the best, which has become they profit most who serves the best. Rotary became an international organization on November 3rd, 1910, with the organization of the Rotary Club of Winnipeg, Canada, and the International Association of Rotary Clubs was formed.
Good afternoon. My name is Terry Stano. The National Rotarian was created in 1911 by Chesley R. Perry, who had been a librarian at the Chicago Public Library. He served as the editor for 17 years. It was first published in newspaper format and became the Rotarian in 1912, the same year that Rotary districts were established. The first printing of the National Rotarian was 2,000 copies. The circulation of the Rotarian is now over 1 million. More than half of the Rotarians worldwide received a regional magazine instead of the Rotarian. The Rotary World Magazine Press publishes more than 30 officially licensed Rotary regional magazines. These publications are produced independently by Rotarians, distributed in more than 130 countries, and published in more than 20 languages. The Rotary Foundation was established in 1917 by Rotary International's sixth president, Archie Klump, a lumber dealer and member of the Rotary Club of Cleveland, Ohio. He created what is called an endowment fund for Rotary for the purpose of doing good in the world in charitable, educational, and other avenues of community service. The endowment received its first contribution of $26.50 from the Rotary Club of Kansas City. That would be $614.46 in 2023 today. The assets of the Rotary Foundation are now over $1 billion, the largest by far of all of the service clubs. Thank you.
My name is Angela Nuss. I'm the founder and charter secretary of the Braintree High School Interact Club, a second-generation Rotarian who joined the Braintree Rotary Club at the club's 95th anniversary celebration. The genealogy of the Rotary Club of Braintree, Massachusetts. All Rotary clubs have family trees and their genealogies can be charted. This is true because new Rotary clubs are sponsored by already existing clubs. The Rotary Club of Chicago is the ancestor of all Rotary clubs and is the great-grandfather of the Braintree Rotary Club. The Chicago Club founded the Rotary Club of Boston. Edward L. Holman had attended a meeting of Chicago Rotary and thought that a Rotary Club of Boston would be a good thing for the city. The organizational meeting of the Boston Rotary Club was held December 27, 1909. Within 2 weeks, a constitution and bylaws had been adopted, and the Boston Rotary Club became the 7th Rotary Club in the world. Dues were $1 a month, the equivalent of $32.62 in 2023. The Boston Rotary Club is the grandfather of the Braintree Rotary Club.
Good afternoon, fellow members. My name is Joe Shattuck. I am a member of the Quincy Rotary Club and recently became an honorary member of the Braintree Rotary Club, my hometown. The International Association of Rotary Clubs became Rotary International in 1922, and that same year, the Boston Rotary Club founded the Rotary Club of Quincy, Massachusetts, the father of the Braintree Rotary Club. Rotary came to the South Shore in the fall of 1922 with the establishment of the Rotary Club of Quincy on November 24th, 1922. Gus Burfers, our charter president, was so impressed with Rotary after attending a meeting of Quincy Rotary that he began the organization of a Rotary Club for Braintree with charter members Shelley Neal and Robert Gaskell of Quincy Rotary. Under the guidance of the Quincy Rotarian Bob Gaskell, the special representative of District 31, Governor Robert Bob Hale, and Gus Burfers, Shelley Neal, and 18 other charter members organized the Rotary Club of Braintree during the winter of 1922-1923.
Hi, I'm John Jack Ryan, twice past president, 1983, 1984, and 1983, 1984. Rotary International District 7950, past district governor, 2003, 2004. I am the Braintree Rotary Club. The Rotary Club has been well established both nationally and internationally by the 1920s, and on Monday evening, April 23rd, 1923, the organizational night of the Braintree Rotary Club was held at the Braintree Town Hall. Rotary had come to Braintree. Over 20 clubs were formed in our district then, District 31, under the guidance of District Governor Judge Robert Bob Hill of Salem during Rotary year 1922-1923. The originators were our club president, Gus Burfers, Shelley Neal, our longest-serving charter member, and 18 other businesses and professional men. Braintree Rotary had 4 children, and I would like you to meet them now.
Hello, I'm Linda Cousins, and I am a Braintree Rotary Club Director 22 through 24, and I'm going to read you the first child of Braintree Rotary. The first club which came into being under the guidance of the Rotary Club of Braintree was the Randolph Holbrook Rotary Club, born at Stetson Hall in Randolph, June 4th, 1931. The new club's charter president, Campbell Bard, had been a member of Braintree Rotary and was the first Braintree Rotarian to visit the Braintree and Barking Rotary Club in England. Next was the Milton Rotary Club. Dr. Stacy Southworth, who was the charter vice president and second president of Braintree Rotary, took the lead in organizing the Milton Rotary Club, established on April 21st, 1937. Past President Stacy was also the district governor's representative to organize the Rotary Club of Plymouth in the winter of 1939 and 1940. Finally, in 1943, the Abington Rotary Club came into being under the guidance of Braintree Rotarian Irving Smith. 4 clubs have been organized by the Braintree Rotary Club.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Salamini. I am the president-elect for Rotary year 2023-2024. I'm here to talk about the grandchildren and great-grandchildren of Braintree Rotary. The grandchildren of Braintree Rotary include the Stoughton Rotary Club, formed by Randolph Holbrook in 1940, the Duxbury Rotary Club, organized by Plymouth in 1950, and the Rockland-Hanson Rotary Club, which was brought into being by Abington Rotary in 1965. The great-grandchildren of Braintree Rotary include the Holbrook Rotary Club, which became an independent club in 1955, the Sharon Rotary Club, established by Stoughton in 1942, Easton Rotary, which Stoughton helped organize in 1969, and finally the Marshfield Rotary Club, chartered with the help of the Duxbury Rotary Club in 1969. Remember that when we mentioned Stoughton Rotary, a grandchild of Braintree, that it was Fred Lipsky of the Stoughton Rotary Club who originated what we have come to know as the $1 Million Meal, an internationally popular and highly successful project which has raised millions of dollars for the Rotary Foundation. What a heritage, what a family.
Good afternoon. I'm William Bill Tennant. I was past president of this club in 1998, 1999, and I was Rotary International District 7950 past district governor from 2018, 2019. In 1932, Rotary's famous four-way test was created by Chicago Rotarian Herbert J. Taylor. It was adopted by Rotary International in 1943. The test is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? During our 10th anniversary in 1933, Boston hosted the Rotary International Convention. Every member of our club had a chance to meet Rotarians from all over the globe. Some may even have met Paul Harris personally. He was the keynote speaker. Club number 100 was chartered in 1914. By 1921, there were over 1,000 clubs. Braintree Rotary was club number 1450 in 1923, and in 2001, the 30,000th Rotary Club was founded. Today, there are over 46,000 Rotary, Rotaract, and Interact clubs worldwide, with over 1.4 million members.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Beth Forbes. I'm the Rotary Club of Braintree Secretary. I'm here to talk to you about the United Nations in Rotary and Women Join Rotary. In 1945, 49 Rotarians helped to draft the United Nations Charter in San Francisco. In 1985, Rotary International announced the Polio Plus program to immunize all of the children of the world against polio. In 1944, the Western Hemisphere was declared polio-free. In 1987, the Rotary Club of Marin Sunrise, California became the first Rotary Club to have women as charter members, and in that same year, Sylvia Whitlock of the Rotary Club of Duarte, California, became the first female Rotary Club president. On June 1st, 1989, Virginia Polio became the first of five female members of the Braintree Rotary Club, and in 1995, she became the first female president of the Braintree Rotary Club. For the 2022-2023 Rotary year, Jennifer E. Jones, a member of the Windsor-Roseland, Ontario, Canada Rotary Club since 1997, became the first lady to become president of Rotary International.
How you doing? John Kreitz, the newest member of the Rotary Club of Braintree. I'm going to talk about the past, the present, and the future of the Rotary. From 1905 in Chicago to today in Braintree, 118 years later, the Rotary Club has done truly great work in bringing the world closer together, fostering the idea of service above self, and people helping people all over the world. How appropriate that Rotary was established in the Unity Building. To Paul Harris, and to all the men and women who have worked with him in the early years to create Rotary International, thank you for all that you did. We'll do all that we can do to keep your spirit of service alive in the Rotary Club of Braintree and in our businesses and professions now and in the future. In honor of Paul Harris, whose vision brought Rotary to life, of Chelsea R. Perry, who did so much to make the Rotary truly an international organization, of Gus Bergfors, Shelley Neal, and the other charter members who established our Rotary Club in 1923, of all of the members of the Rotary Club of Braintree throughout the first century of service, of the men and women of Rotary Clubs all over the world, past, present, and future, and of Chicago Rotarian Harry Ruggles, Rotary song leader for decades, and the man who put song in Rotary. This concludes today's program with our closing song, led by Braintree Rotarian Paul Agnew.
I think some of us are familiar with this tune. We have the words in front of us. If I could ask you, if you are familiar with the tune, please join. Please join in singing. We are nearing the end of a Rotary day, which will long remain in our thoughts. It should send each member or guest away with the joy that the day has brought. For Rotary means service at work and play, and friendships that never fade. So we grasp at the end of a Rotary day the hands of the friends we've made.
Just to conclude, it's been a pleasure to celebrate this event, this historic event for celebrating 118 years of Rotary International being a great organization to the world, and a pleasure to celebrate it with you, all my fellow members. Thank you all to my members who stepped up and were able to do the script today. I just want to highlight 3 people. I think it's a pleasure having John Kreitz as our newest member, probably for a month, to be bookending this with, the future of Rotary. So very cool to John. I do not want to not include Scott Prolinsky, who he beat by like a month. So Scott, you would have been up there, so it was between you two. And also to our newest honorary member, Joe Shattuck, who personally, I think he goes around the room, feels like he's been here forever, and who left his mark immediately and continually with the Braintree Rotary Club. So, for you 3, it's a special day, and thank you all for being here and doing what you do for Rotary in the world. So, thank you. Meeting adjourned. Hey, we have one more. Encore. Paul Agnew's going to do one more.
I think at the end of your program you see the words for Irving Berlin's, I hate this word, iconic song, and I think we all know it. We can stand and we can sing and close our meeting. Even though we've adjourned, this is a little post-adjournment activity for ourselves. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet